Hello, friends. It's me. And we have a special story today. We have a fiction story, a mystical tale. It's going to get spooky because it's about ghosts, which you already know because you could read the title of the video. I started as if I was going to bury the lead, but then I remembered how YouTube works. Well, you already know what it's about. So let's get into it. This is from Reddit user Box-a-Rocks 33. 33 rocks in that box. Could you with a box? This is the tale of Ghostbeard. Hi, Moonhorse. Hello. Thank you for reading my story. Well, thank you for sharing it with us. So, my lab mates and I listen to your stuff at work all the time. We laugh our asses off at your numerous neckbeard tales and try to make the day go by faster. Well, I'm really glad you guys enjoy it. Thank you. Over the past few weeks, we've slowly been concocting the story you're about to read. This all started with one of us throwing out a hypothetical neckbeard ghost. Oh boy. I hope you enjoy reading this as much as I enjoyed writing it. There's a little something for you at the end too, so grab a happy Pepsi, sit down and enjoy the tale of Ghostbeard. I'm already excited. May 3rd, 2021. So, I'm pretty sure that my house is haunted. Enough weird stuff has happened in the past weeks to make this a plausible theory. As excited as I am to have my own place, the situation's putting a bit of a damper on my enthusiasm. It started off innocently enough. I noticed my soda going flat only after a night or two, as if someone had unscrewed the cap and just left it that way. This happens even more if the soda isn't diet, for some reason. I would come into the kitchen and find my bag of cheese curls open when I could have sworn I hadn't touched them. Sometimes my underwear would disappear, but now it's getting disruptive in my sleep patterns. Last night, I'd say around 3 or 4 in the morning, my computer turned on by itself. The sudden brightness of it woke me up. I looked up, and just as I started to register exactly what was going on, words appeared in my search bar. Hentai? I watched in terror as my computer began to look up some kind of horrible tentacle porn before loudly playing it on the screen. It was a nightmare. Catgirls violated unimaginable ways by a creature that looked like an octopus somehow made entirely of boobs. I slammed the laptop shut on the emotionally scarring pornography and turned on every light in the house. I didn't sleep that night. I don't really know what to do. I guess maybe I should research some of the house. Maybe I'll find something there. May 7th, 2021. I've been doing a little digging regarding the house. Apparently someone did die here a few years ago. I was going through some local news articles at the library and I came across a picture of a guy. Pasty, bespectacled creature, his perfectly round face dotted with acne and a scraggly beard framing it. There appeared to be crumbs in the beard. He struck a dramatic pose with a store-bought katana, though his large frame made the sword seem almost comically small. On his head, he wore a fedora so tight that it seemed to be cutting off the circulation of the rest of his face. Intrigued, I read on. Local man, Brendan Estobian Adam Robert Davis III, died in his home on Monday after being suffocated by his own Rainbow Dash body pillow. He was 32. We're just heartbroken, his mother says. We bought him his own house because the smell from his room was bringing property values down. After all, he saved up so many good boy points. I just never thought I'd lose my special little baby boy this way. I think I'm starting to get scared now. May 12th, 2021. Okay, so I'm terrified. I saw him. I saw what I will now refer to as Ghostbeard with my own eyes. It was late Saturday night, and I was getting ready to meet a friend at the bar, get some drinks, and a basket of mozzarella sticks. Now, I'm a bit on the goth side. I like to wear dark makeup and clothes, and that night I was getting ready, as I usually do. It started with the smell. As I was brushing some dark purple eyeshadow onto my lids, I got a whiff of something that smelled like pizza and body odor, with a hint of old tuna, and feet and ass. Disgusted, I looked around my bathroom and tried to find the source of this odor. I found nothing, and decided it must be coming from one of the drains, and resolved to call a plumber later. I turned again to look in the mirror, and there he was, his fedora still tight over his visibly sweaty head. You know, you would look a lot better without makeup. I much prefer natural beauty on curls. You know what they say.
Think I'm swimming on the first date, am I right?
He said with a nasally laugh. I froze in horror. His beady pig eyes were absolutely glued to my cleavage in the mirror.
Goth chicks are like, so hot though. I bet you're into bondage and S&M. You can spank me anytime.
I then nearly fainted as I felt a slap across my behind. I spun around and Ghostbeard was gone. There was only the perfect outline of a stubby sausage-fingered hand and Cheeto dust on my left ass cheek. May 15th, 2021. I saw him again, but it was worse this time, much worse. I got home from the lab around 4. It was gross and covered in acid fumes, so I decided to take a shower before going about the rest of my day. I got in, rinsed my hair, and scrubbed off, humming as I usually do. I turned the water off and wrung out my hair, but when I opened the curtain, he was standing there with a creepy smile on his face.
Your towel, lady,
he said, following with a pervy giggle. I screamed and attempted to pull the shower curtain around myself. The apparition looked shocked by this.
What? I was only trying to be a gentleman. Can't a guy get his girlfriend a towel anymore? Or is feminism taking that from us too?
He said. I'm not your fucking girlfriend, Ghostbeard. Get the fuck out of here, I yelled back at him.
Well, somebody's on their period.
He laughed that gross little laugh and promptly disappeared, the towel hitting the floor with a soft thunk. I almost shit myself right then and there. May 17th, 2021. I told my lab partners about the ghost. They know me pretty well and know that I'm not one to make stuff up, so they believed my story and offered me advice. Have you tried talking to it? Like, asking what it wants? There's gotta be a reason it's still around, right? Maddie said as she gently placed a test tube under a funnel. Yeah, said Cray. Don't act like you don't have a Ouija board. I gave him a look as I held a tray of beakers. Shut up! But yeah, I do. Maddie looked up from the bench. She folded another filter. Well, maybe you should give it a shot. I mean, couldn't hurt. Craw nodded. I'm definitely down to talk to Neckbeard Ghost too, he said. I considered this for a moment before I turned to the fume hood. Suddenly, my Bluetooth began to stutter as a text after text flooded through my phone. Irritated, I put the tray down and walked over to the counter to see who's spamming me. Unknown number. Making a face, I opened the message, nearly gagged. Craw looked at me, his face concerned. What is it, Saw? He said. I put the phone down and took a step backwards. It's sending me dick pics. I said with my face in my hands. Both Maddie and Craw stepped over to the counter to see what I was talking about. I scrolled through the message, picture after picture, angle after angle of what like a sad, translucent mushroom, visible smegma smeared across its wrinkled testicles. I think it's at 15 in total. You can call it ectoplasm. I'm sorry. May 18th, 2021. Craw and Maddie came by today. We used the board, but I'm pretty sure that it just made everything worse. All of us sat down on the living room floor with the round Ouija board in the middle of us. Placing our hands on the planchette, we all glanced around nervously at each other. I'm calling forth the spirit of, Brennan Esteban Adam Robert Davis III. Are you here? The planchette slid to yes. Okay, Brennan. What is it that keeps you trapped in this house? We want to help you. The planchette didn't move for a few seconds, then it slid around the board, spelling out, tits or GTFO. Maddie dropped her hands into her lap, her lips pressed into a thin line and her eyes murderous. Craw looked at her in the back of the board. Alright, dude, tell us why you're haunting Saw, he said. The planchette began to move wildly, spelling out things like, I'm a gentleman, I would treat her right, and women don't know what they want, and I deserve a big titty goth girlfriend. Lord. A few seconds later, the planchette flew out from under our hands and hit the wall behind me. Then a stench filled the room, making us all cover our mouths and noses as we could nearly taste it this time. We ran outside. From the porch, we could hear my refrigerator door opening and slamming shut. I've heard it every night since. May 23rd, 2021. I'm at my wit's end at this point. Not only does this ghost make my house smell like utter ass and keep me up all night, but now it won't even let me get laid. I brought a guy home for the first time in forever. Cute Arabic guy, eyes like pools of honey, great smile, funny as hell, adorable accent. We've been talking for a while, and I decided it was time to spend the night together. Everything was fine for a while, watched some cartoons, ate some pizza, generally chilled. I almost forgot that Ghostbeard existed. Almost. We started kissing, and that's when we both noticed the smell. My asshole clenched in terror as he pulled away. There's a statement I'll never forget. What the fuck is that? It's like yard waste and spoiled chicken, he said. I ran a hand through his soft, dark curls. I think one of my drains is messed up. I'm sorry. Can you ignore it? I said, smiling innocently. I couldn't tell him about the ghost. That would just make me sound crazy, right? He laughed it off, and we got back to making out. Then, just as he made a move to unhook my bra, the wall shook with an uproarious We both jumped as my cupboards began slamming, kitchen chairs and tables sliding wildly, a nasally voice assaulting both of our ears.
No, he's a fucking Chad! You need a nice guy like me!
It was then the wall started dripping with a red liquid. Rightfully terrified, Homeboy jumped up, looking ready to fight the specter as I sat motionless on the sofa, dying of embarrassment. As soon as it had started, the commotion ceased, and we both hung in silence for a moment. Homeboy glanced at me and then walked to the wall, said dripping liquid. He brushed his fingers against it, bringing it to his nose. His brows knitted and he looked at me. Hesitantly, he touched his tongue to his fingers. It's Mountain Dew. It's fucking code red, he said, eyes wide. Needless to say, he was pretty spooked and didn't want to stay. Do you want to come back to my place? I don't want to leave you with this thing, but I don't feel safe here. I hugged him and sadly shook my head. No, I have to deal with this. I'm really sorry. He looked like he wanted to kiss me, but he didn't want to risk another from Ghostbeard. So we said our goodbyes, and I was home alone again. I turned to my now empty house and shouted, "Fuck you, Ghostbeard, I like him!" From everywhere and nowhere, that dumbass voice echoed.
He doesn't know how to treat a lady. He'll just beat you and want anal all the time. I'm a nice guy. I would treat you with respect and make you my little gothic princess.
I groaned in disgust. I don't want to be your fucking princess. I'm gonna get rid of you. You're messing with my fuck game now. My refrigerator door began to slam open and shut.
Why can't you just give me a chance?
I groaned again and headed angrily to my room. I spent the rest of the night looking up exorcism methods. This is personal now. June 1st, 2021. I think it might finally be over. Maddie and Craw came by last night, and they brought someone with them. Someone I wasn't expecting. When I heard the knock at the door, I sauntered over with a glass of rum and Coke in my hand and opened it to see my two friends standing on my porch. Behind them was a stranger. He was a horseman. His flowing blue mane sparkled in the sunlight, and I stood in shock as I led him through the doorway. Maddie looked up at me as I shut the door. So, we know you've been dealing with this asshole ghost for almost a month now, so Craw and I reached out and got you some help. Hi, I'm Moonhorse, professional exorcist. I added that part, said the horseman with a wave. I was dumbstruck for a second. Holy shit. Craw glanced around the room. We figured the situation called for magic. Some fucking space horse magic, he said, smiling. I looked at him and then to the handsome horseman. Oh, you flatterer. It's true. I am a magical space horse, and I have tons of experience with neckbeards, living and dead. You, by chance have any more of that? Said Moonhorse, pointing to my drink. I nodded and led them all inside. I poured Moonhorse a drink and handed it to him. He took it, thanking me. Took a long drink, smacking his lips a bit with a little hum of pleasure. So you're being haunted by a neckbeard, huh? Yeah, he smells like shit and he won't let me fuck. I hate him and I want him to die. Again. Moonhorse nodded and took another sip of his drink. He made a motion with his hands, and in a puff of smoke, an empty glass bottle of Mountain Dew appeared. Alright, so here's what we gotta do. Moonhorse explained the ritual to the three of us, and then we headed to the basement, where he dwells. We lit candles in a circle, placing inside of it the empty bottle of dew, a bag of Doritos, and some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and a... I don't think I could say that on YouTube. We all joined hands as Moonhorse led the ritual. I'm speaking to the beard infesting this house. You bothered this girl enough. It's time to get the fuck out, dude. Suddenly, a phantom wind began to whip about, and the stink began to rise. No, this is my room. Get out. You're not my real dad. Moonhorse was undeterred. You need to get a job. You need to take a fucking shower. The wind intensified, pulling the cute little buns out of Maddie's hair. No, fuck you. People hate me for being rich and fat, screamed Ghostbeard. No, people hate you because you're an asshole and you force yourself on them. Now get in the goddamn bottle. All of us watched in a mixture of wonder and terror as a floating fedora began to materialize in the circle. You need to stop eating fast food and go outside, Moonhorse yelled. No! Screamed Ghostbeard. You need to stop playing video games and actually clean up after yourself. No! Your mom is not going to make you tendies forever. Now the nearly physical fedora burst into flames, pulling down into the dew bottle as if sucked in by a vacuum. All women are whores! Roared Ghostbeard as he was ripped into the empty bottle by the Space Horse magic. Moonhorse quickly capped the bottle, and the room fell silent. All of us stood in quiet for a moment as we released each other's hands. Is it over? Moonhorse nodded, picking up the bottle. Yeah, you should be good now. I'm gonna keep this. We all headed upstairs, my house finally feeling like my own. I stood with my friends on the front porch, the sun warming my skin as it peeked out from the clouds. I looked at Moonhorse. What are you gonna do with that? He just smiled. I don't know, stash it somewhere, I guess. I'm a fucking magical horse. I'll probably just poof into the Shadow Realm or something. I nodded before leaning in for a tight, grateful hug. Thank you, I said. He just smiled. Anytime. And then he disappeared into a puff of pink smoke. I looked at my two friends, the quiet sublime. Monday is going to be fun as hell, I said. The end. I approve. That was wonderful. Oh my god, that was great. I was not expecting a literal neckbeard exorcism. I should get one of those I should get one of those bottles that does the you can like trap the smoke in and it's like all a design. I'm gonna get one of those and just claim it's a neckbeard ghost. This was fantastic. Thank you so much for this. Box of Rocks. I love this. This was great, and I hope you guys, since you said you listened to this in your lab, I hope you hear it too and enjoy it just as much as I did. Thank you all so very much. Oh man, that was magical. If you guys enjoyed this, and I certainly hope you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. This was wonderful. And make sure to tell our wonderful writers how much you enjoyed this story. This was really good. If you'd like to support this channel so I can keep doing this and, you know, fighting ghosts apparently, donate to my Ghostbusters fund over at Ko-Fi. I'd appreciate it. Keeps the Ecto-1 running, know what I'm saying? Also, I have a merch store, and I'm suddenly thinking I need to figure out some art for new t-shirts, so... I also have a subreddit. If you'd like to send me fan art or wonderful stories exactly like this, not exactly like this, make your own stories, but if you'd like to send them to me, send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. I absolutely adore everything you guys make. It's my subreddit is like my personal giant refrigerator, and I put all your wonderful stories on there because I'm so proud of each and every one of you. That was a little cheesy, but it's true. I love you all. Be safe out there, kids. I love you so very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Watch out for neckbeard ghosts. Not everybody can trap them in bottles like me. It's space magic. Unicorn space magic. Oh yeah. I'll see you next time.